Hi, this is Robin Johnson from the Proven Bundling course, and today we're going to go over some guidelines for bundling, what Amazon says, and just some good best practices about creating your bundles. Now, this is straight from Amazon's page. Now, you should have already read this on your own, but I'm just going to kind of briefly, quickly go through it. And this is recording, so this policy could change at any time. So never just go by what I say, by what Jim says, what Nathan says. Everything Amazon's not going to care if you say, well, I broke a policy, but I thought that it was okay because Robin told me. They're not going to care. This is your business. You have to take responsibility. So it is your responsibility to be up on Amazon's policies, what they expect from you as a seller. So, take the time to read those Amazon documents. Take some of that time that we've been playing on Facebook, and I only say that because I'm guilty of that too. So take the time to really read what is on Amazon. So this is text directly from Amazon. I just put it on the bullet points on the slideshow so you could read it. So the sellers can create bundles composed of different products to create new bundled products. Well-designed product bundles provide convenience and value to the buyer. So adhering to the policies on this page will help Amazon's customers locate the bundles more easily and prevent duplicate or near duplicate listings. So you can hear what they don't want. They want well-designed bundles. They don't want things that are slapped together. They want you to follow the policies. And they want to make sure that we don't have 60,000 bundles of the same thing or very close to the same thing. You may not list a bundle where the primary product is from the bundle is from the video games, books, music, video, or DVD. So that's sometimes abbreviated BMVD. Now you can include a book, music, video, or DVD and video games as a secondary product in a bundle if they're related and complementary to the primary product in the bundle. So you could list a bundle composed of a yoga mat, and the yoga mat would be the primary product, a yoga DVD, and a yoga book. So you can do that, but you can't put like a series of yoga DVDs together. You can't put like the West Wing, buy all of the individual West Wing episodes and put them together in a bundle. So you can use books, videos, music, DVDs, and video games in bundles. They just can't be the primary product and you can't bundle them together. The referral fee for the primary products category, which is going to be the same category used to list the product. So this points out something when you're creating your listing. The category it belongs to is the category of the primary product. So the main item, that's where you're going to put it in. So it doesn't belong in everything else. It belongs in the product that it goes to, and that's going to help your search. But it also goes to don't try to use bundles to get around a gated category or a gated brand. I'll touch back on that in a little bit. All bundles are subject to review for appropriateness and relevance, and they can determine at any time whether a bundle complies with policy. Failure to adhere to the policy, including the following guidelines, may result in the removal without notice of any bundled product listing, account I can't even say it, it's so scary. Account suspension or both. Amazon reserves the right to modify or revoke this policy at any time. So this is why we're going through the actual policy, because they say if you don't follow this policy, they can remove your listing at any point, and they may suspend you if it's grievous enough. So here are the bundling guidelines. Must consist of items that are highly complementary and provide value to the buyer when compared to buying the individual items separately. So you need to have a value. It has to be more of a value to the customer to buy the items bundled than it would be to buy them individually. They have to be highly complementary. It has to provide a value to the customer. A bundle may be listed in a single category only, even if products comprising from the bundle are from multiple categories. If a bundle includes products from multiple categories, it may be listed only in the category of the highest priced item in the bundle. So your primary product is going to be generally the highest priced item in the bundle, except for video games. if that, even if your video game was the highest priced item and it's not the primary item, then that would be the exception to that rule. If you list a bundle, you accept the bundle as a return and refund the item as a single unit. So if you have, somebody has, you have one expensive part and one inexpensive part, and they return one piece of it, the refund happens as a single unit. You can't have single separate warranty products or extended service plans. So you can't have like a watch with a warranty and then something else without a warranty or its own warranty. Each bundle must have its own standard product identifier. And the identifier, the individual product in the bundle, may not serve as the identifier for the bundle. So what that means is you can't take the UPC code from the box and make that the listing ID for your bundle. That UPC belongs to that individual unit. Using a UPC from any single product to identify the entire bundle may lead to immediate removal of the listing. You are responsible for obtaining a UPC for each bundle you create. Do not bundle branded products with generic products, may mislead the customers. So you can't have a Crayola crayon box and then a bunch of generic like color and pencils and watercolors. It needs to be clear. So branded products go with branded products. All products and bundles must comply with Amazon's product listing policies. That includes restricted products. Bundle images, features, and description must also adhere to the listing policies. If the bundle is a multi-pack, such as 6 pairs of socks, do not list as a bundle. And that link goes to a link about UPCs and multi-packs. If a bundle is a variation, don't list it as a bundle, and there's a link to variations. If you match your bundle to an existing bundle, and the products must be exactly the same. If they're not exactly the same, they're different in any way, you must create a new listing. You may not change the existing listing. Once you create a bundle, you may not modify the components. If you want to add or remove products from the bundle, you must create a new bundle with a unique UPC or match to an existing bundle that is identical to your revised bundle. So you can't, if you run out of the second part of your bundle, you can't just replace it with something else and change the listing. That's what Amazon is saying. Now, I know people do it, but it's saying that they want you to create a new listing if that's the case. Include the word bundle and the number of items in the product title. So in some of the examples, we saw that that's very rare. It's obviously something that's not enforced. Amazon does specifically tell you to do it. So my recommendation is to follow their rule. So it should say bundle and 3 items, tote bag, knit scarf, and gloves, blue. Feature bullet number 1 must state that the product is a bundle of X number of items and must identify the items in the product. So it actually tells you which bullet you should have your description in, or your list of things that are in the bundle. The description must state that the product is a bundle and identify the products in the bundle with appropriate designators such as model number, color, and size. So in the description, you need to say, this, the Scotty peeler is red, and the t-shirt is a size small, and the chips are 16 ounce. This is model number 525 of the carton reducer. Whatever it is, that's what you need to have. And the main image for the bundle must include all of the exact products in the bundle. Images of representative or similar products are not permitted. So again, something that people don't seem to follow, but is what they've asked. So you can't say like items might vary. So the bundle guidelines is that, after reading that small test, that big test really pops out at you. That bundle guidelines is that products must be complementary. So you can't just throw things together. We talked about this before, but it's important. They have to provide value for the customer. So the customer should be better off by buying your bundle than by buying them individually. Don't just add random items. We learned what BVMD, if you didn't know what that is, books, videos, music, DVDs, and video games, and can't be bundled together. but they can be put with a primary product. So they can be the secondary product in a bundle, just not the primary part. So you could put like a Minnie Mouse plush with a Minnie Mouse book and Minnie Mouse sticker set and a Minnie Mouse pencil. That would be fine. So bundled guidelines, a little bit more. Do not try if you're not gated, if you're not ungated in clothing, do not use bundles to try to get clothing listed if you're not ungated in clothing. Only list in areas that you are authorized to sell. Only list brands that you're authorized to sell. So if you buy a bunch of Gillette razors and it comes up that they're a restricted brand, don't try to use a bundle to get around that. Amazon is onto that, or if they're not, they will be, and you don't want to be in that crosshair. So don't try to be sneaky. It's only going to get your Amazon account in trouble. Follow the rules and do what Amazon asks us to do. This is their playground. Hazmat considerations, so watch for things that are hazmat, including things in hazmat. Just because it lets you send in an aerosol spray does not mean that it is safe to send in an aerosol spray. So don't think because it let me send something in that means it's okay. It just means that that particular item didn't get flagged, and it will probably eventually. So don't try to run around the hazmat item as well. Make sure you're following all of the standard rules. Expiration labels on food. Glass needs to be packaged. Liquids need to be double sealed. Can only be bundled in certain, in plastic containers in certain quantities. Everything needs to pass the 3-foot drop rule. All of those things that you would normally do, you're still going to do when you bundle. You want to focus on the customer. If bundles become a problem on Amazon, you will see new rules and policies that will key in on that problem. So if they see that people are creating bundles that aren't really bundles, they're just an item with some other item so that you can reduce competition, they're going to get stricter on what qualifies as a bundle and maybe even gate bundling or something like that. We don't know. So don't be the person that causes a shift in the rules to get more strict. Always stay on top of the current rules. And I don't care if Jim says it or Nathan says it or I say it or Chris Green or Skip McGrath, because we are all human. These policies, they don't tell us when they're changed. It's not that all of us are experts, right? We spend our lives looking at these policies and trying to comply with them, but sometimes we make mistakes, and Amazon isn't going to take that well, Robin told me that I could do this as a reason to unsuspend your account. So follow the Amazon rules. Instead of asking the Facebook group first, always look at it in Amazon's help first. If you have trouble interpreting it or you're having trouble finding the actual link, then ask that first rather than somebody's opinion, because they might just not be aware of a rule change or even that the rule exists. Now, there's a multi-pack or bundle, and multi-pack could be like a whole different course. It would be a small course, but it could be a whole different course. So you're going to want to look at that multi-pack link that was in that bundling thing, and how you get to that is on your Amazon Seller Central page. Click on the top right-hand corner, click on Help, and then there's be a search bar that comes up on the top, and then you're just going to type in multi-pack, type in bundle. If you type in bundle, it'll bring up that thing that I just read. Multi-packs can be good in certain situations. So if you're going to be, maybe you have a toy that has a refill that people are going to want to buy multiple times, that can be a great time to use a multi-pack. Anything that's consumable, those are good times to go to multi-pack. There is a little bit of debate in the food area, and the rules are a little unclear, but in general, on the bundling, it is very clear. I like to stick with bundles whenever possible. So those are the guidelines for bundling. we want to make sure that you have a thriving Amazon account, and part of that is following Amazon's rules. I know sometimes they can seem tough, or there's a lot of them, but it's really to make sure that the customer has a good experience. And ultimately, we want that too, because the reason Amazon has the traffic it does is because it takes care of the customer. So ultimately, all of these things are for our good, or at least the idea behind them was for our good. I hope that helps in you guys starting to get your own bundles together. Review those policies, know them before you start your first bundle.